What?
To know if you want to come with us.
Come with you where?
Walk.
Seriously? Mom thinks I'm. Mom? Hey, do me a favor. I want you to say, Mom, do you not know what time it is? And then come back, see what she says.
Mom, you know what time it is?
Thank you for downloading our recent episode. For more episodes like this, go to movieguyspodcast.podbean.com for more episodes. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Tonight we are talking about Bring Her Back, the follow-up to, I can't pronounce their names, but they're twins from Australia. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
Whoops. Let me turn down the volume there real quick.
I did the finger thing.
Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't looking because I was turning down the volume. I'm doing great. I am excited to talk about this. Now, you said that you have been following these directors, this duo, since they first started doing this on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. So I stumbled upon these guys because, what was it? Do you remember when they remade Mortal Kombat? When Mortal Kombat was cool again? Not the movies, the game. Like, it was Mortal Kombat 9, and they made all three games into one big game, and popular, right?
Yes, very.
So, you're on YouTube, searching Mortal Kombat stuff, because you're back into it again. And then these kids came up, and these kids were in their backyard doing Mortal Kombat moves. And what made it fun, just like Mortal Kombat, is that they would have these blood and gore effects. And it was fun. It was good. It was slapstick. And then it got to them, one of them directing and one of them being Ronald McDonald. And he would go to, like, chicken places with a gun and a chainsaw and just murder people.
That's awesome.
Just ridiculous, fun nonsense. To the point that they got so popular that they even had Riley Reid, the adult star, do some movies, YouTube scenes with them.
Good for her. Good for them.
Right. So when you introduced to me to talk to me, and I don't know who, I didn't pay attention who directed it until after the movie when we reviewed it. I was like, oh my God, I know these guys. And we like to talk to me a lot. That movie's well received by us and many critics. So when I heard that Bring Her Back was the follow-up, I'm going to see everything these guys do because I like what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a eye for this sort of storytelling, this particular type of horror that they like to do. I wouldn't call it a traditional horror, right? This or Talk to Me, it's kind of more of like a thriller almost.
These guys are in the same ballpark as Jordan Peele.
You think so?
Yeah, these guys are the same. But by the way, off subject kinda, I got duped because I saw there's a trailer for Him out called Him.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And it was like Jordan Peele, and I was like, oh, the new Jordan Peele movie. And it was like, no, it's not.
No, producer Jordan Peele, directed by Justin somebody.
So I was waiting for it. But no, like, I put these guys into that category because, I mean, is this classified, these guys, as elevated horror? That could be what you would classify this as now, these two movies?
Yeah, I would. You could probably put this one in like psychological or like a supernatural kind of a thing. It's a bit of both, really, if it's not them already. But yeah, I would agree that this or someone like Jordan Peele are taking kind of a taboo topic or a real life subject and kind of making a metaphor of it in horror form, right?
Right.
Like how in obviously Get Out, how the culture is being stolen from the white or by white culture from the black culture, right? And Talk to Me about the pains of addiction and how coping can be this very delicate kind of escape when you have something like that available to you.
What's the metaphor for us then?
I'll have to look into that, but I'll tell you, Us was one of those movies where I watched it and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna. I don't know. It's a hard follow up to Get Out, right?
I enjoyed it. That's why I was excited when we reviewed Nope. And that's why I was excited that we're reviewing this one, because with a Jordan Peele movie, just like with these guys, I go in knowing what I'm going to get. In a Jordan Peele movie, I know I'm going to get elevated horror, quote unquote, right? And it's going to be a fun, original story. With these guys, I'm going to get an original story, but there's going to be some gore.
Oh, buddy, I think that was the takeaway from this movie because, listen, the name of the movie itself, Bring Her Back, and the way that it starts, you could predict it pretty easily, right?
Yeah, I got a short story about that, but yes, go ahead.
So, it was not any surprise to me, like how the setup was going. It was hitting the beats. And I was like, right, well, this is really obvious. Okay, got it, Foster. Sad that the dad died in that way. Pretty graphic, actually.
Yeah.
But then going to the foster care of Sally Hawkins, and her talking about how she lost her daughter, and then there's like this other creepy kid that's around, but you have, again, the title of the movie and the opening sequence pretty fresh in your head as you are into this, and be like, all right, well, I'm led to believe that this kid or this woman is a part of some sort of cult or ritual in effort to bring her dead daughter back.
Right. And my short story was the neighborhood guys that I hang out with, they know I do the show, and we were hanging out last night, and I told them, they asked what I was reviewing tonight, and I told them, and they go, what is that about? Because they haven't heard of it. So I told them the story, not even halfway through. They're like, oh, it's because the kid did. I'm like, yep. And they're like, oh, and these guys don't like movies. So it's like, well, they like movies, but you know what I mean. They're not us. So the story's pretty obvious. What I do like, though, about how they take something very traditional, right, and go with the evil foster parent thing, is that what I like about it, before we get into it, is she's an F-up. Like she's not an occult person. She is sad. She's desperate. She finds a Russian VHS tape and just kind of pieces it together, if you will, to do this seance or whatever. I mean, she's not typically in a movie like this, like Hereditary, right? Like there's already an established occult. There's already a group of people that already do this for a living, kind of thing, right? So that's what I kind of like.
They had the ritual down.
Right, which I kind of like in this movie, where this woman has no idea what she's doing. And what I like, too, about it is that because she has no idea what she's doing, she doesn't even know if she's doing it right, which that's what's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of good details in this movie for that. And I agree with you, yeah. You get a person who is not a cult member, but basically just viewing the occult on a YouTube or a second hand-me-down instruction video, thinking that in her delusion that she has it right. But, man, that Oliver kid really gives you the heebie-jeebies, huh? Yeah,
I want to talk about him as we go on. So, kind of spoiling it, but I think this is, and go with me for a second, and please, if you don't think I need to do it, then we don't. But I kind of want to talk about what the ritual is, because that's the lead up to what we need. Because I don't know if I fully understand the ritual. Right? Because we see the ritual in the beginning of the movie, and it, but from what I understand, without spoiling too much, right, is you have a loved one that dies. So then you summon a demon into a random body. Again, tell me if I'm wrong. And then after you summon the demon to this random body, you kill somebody else, and then why that person is dead, the demon eats the person that you loved and then regurgitates the person that he ate back into the other person, and that brings them back to life. Am I wrong?
I'm a little lost on this too, and I did not do my due diligence as per usual for movies like this. A lot of times I do, I really do, but this one I watched it and I was just kind of, I researched the wrong things. I didn't research the ritual. I researched the effects,
Okay.
because what got me in this movie were the effects, was the gore, which Jordan, we have seen all three Terrifier movies. We have seen Human Centipedes. We have seen a lot of these over the top movies. This movie made me cringe. This movie actually, I closed my eyes a few times and turned away.
This movie hurts.
It was like, holy cow, man.
Because it's real. It's not Terrifier real. This movie hurts.
I think not just the effect, but it was the sound.
The foliage is
Right.
good.
Yeah. So it was a lot of the sounds of like while it was happening.
Right.
Like, and we'll obviously get to it, but the parts where Oliver is like biting the countertop,
Right.
right? And like just really chomping down. Or that part with the knife where he eats the knife. That is, whoa. Like that one was, because, you know, I don't want to describe the sound too much because it will not do it justice, but
No.
it's just like, holy cow, how do you do that? How
Right.
do you make that scene?
Well, let's get into it, right? So we follow Andy, a 17-year-old boy, with his slightly blind stepsister, Pepper. This is her...
Piper.
Piper, sorry, not Pepper. Wow, terrible. Hey, wouldn't it be a movie guy show without Jordan screwing it up? I mean,
We are bad at names, yes.
No, not we, me. And I think the fans will be upset if I do a flawless show. They would be upset. They would pillage, if you will. But Piper...
We'll give you the gold headphones.
Yeah, give me the gold lift. I found out on IMDb that this is the actress's first job ever. She's not an actress. The one who plays Piper.
Sure.
And the mom found out about the casting on Facebook.
Nice.
I don't know if she's actually...
Well, she did a very good job.
Is she blind in real life?
I would imagine. Well, here, let me take a look. If not, then she played it very well. But it looks like...
She is.
Yeah. Limited sight. So legally blind.
Yeah, she was born with coloboma. Okay.
Yep.
Whatever that. Yeah, I mean, like, reason why I liked her was because I liked her eyes, right? Because we get introduced to her, we get these group of just snooty, terrible, kids that make fun of her, right? But, like, I like her eyes and how they move constantly, right? Kind of made me feel for the character a little bit. It made me go, oh, okay, like, she's going to be the star, right? Because there's something wrong with her and kooky. So I thought, because her eyes were screwed up, that this movie was going to be something with eyes.
Okay.
Like her eyes are bad. So is she going to be the bad guy to where she's going to get possessed and try to steal somebody's eyes so she can be normal and see? I don't know.
I could guess, again, I think the poster gives a lot away because when we are introduced eventually, when Andy and Piper go and meet Laura and Oliver, you get to see Oliver and you're like, oh, that's the kid from the poster. So you can kind of really put those puzzle pieces together pretty quickly, but the how comes into play.
Right.
'Cause it's like, what comes next? I see the characters. I can guess what's going on here, but I'm missing the color to the picture. I can see the picture, black and white, but I'm missing all the other details. So I don't know how it's all going to connect in the end. And yeah, it gets there. It gets a little high anxiety at points, because Laura does a very good job of covering up, and Andy is trying to be like, don't you see it? Like, I've given you, like, it's pretty obvious it's right here. And like the caretaker or like the person at child services are just like, no, she's a friend. I trust her more than I trust you.
Yeah, 30 years of friendship. So Andy and Piper go home. Dad's not there. They can't find Dad. They hear Dad taking a shower. Door's locked. We know what's happening, right? We just see Dad dead with looks like vomit on his face. What happened? Did they say? Did I miss it? Heart attack? They didn't say how he died.
I don't think that they said, or if they did, then it went over and I forgot. But you can assume that it was some sort of like, I don't know, attack of maybe like a heart attack. But he was foaming at the mouth, so maybe it was like some sort of stroke, hemorrhage. Who knows?
So know what I thought? This is a theory, right? This is a fan theory. Doesn't mean that this is real. Okay. What if Laura wanted Piper all along because of this plan? So she went over to the house and cyanide capsuled the dad. You know what I mean? Like, put a little cyanide.
I mean, that's definitely a conspiracy theory. I don't think it's sound, but
No, it's a fan theory.
it's a fan theory.
No, my opinion. My fan theory.
Oh, sure, yeah.
No.
Listen, anything's possible.
In this movie, anything is possible, clearly. So dad's dead. They go to this foster.
I would say, what about Piper is appealing, but it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know either, because I'm also, again, that's why I brought up the ritual in the beginning of the episode, because I'm trying to understand would Piper then body change to look like dead daughter? Or would dead daughter's soul be in Piper's body? I don't understand. So,
Yeah.
Would she
Well-
always have Piper? I don't know.
Laura, and I'm reading this from the wiki, says, and I remember that too, during that awkward scene for the funeral, right? So father dies, the child services comes in and talks about the brutal truth of like, hey, listen, Piper's young enough to go to a foster care. You are old enough to where we could just kind of stretch it out for 3 months, and then you'll be 18 and on your own guardianship there. And he said, no, I'm not leaving her. I'll just be with them for the 3 months, and then eventually I'd like to take her, kind of a thing. And they're just like, all right, well, we'll go along with it, kind of a thing.
Yeah, because I guess
So,
he was a troubled
for
past.
the plot.
Yeah, because because the woman at the foster system said, she doesn't want you. She wants Piper, the foster care person, because, you kind of have a past. You're angry. You're a liar.
Yeah, yeah.
A scoundrel.
We learn about we learn more about that later on.
Right.
But basically, suggesting that Andy's a kind of a loose cannon type of thing. Either way, they meet Laura, who seems like a pretty cool person, right? She's blasting music.
No.
She seems kind of like, she got a nice place.
No. This is every... Eric, if you and I were to pull up to this house, I would look right at you. Both you and I would look at each other and go, murder house, and drive away. This is a murder
Yeah,
house.
because we know what movie we're in, man. But like,
she's
no,
creepy.
I wouldn't think that until I saw Oliver, which I think both those two. Well, Piper didn't see Oliver, obviously, but Andy saw Oliver and said, "Wow, that's messed up. That's a weird looking kid."
Yeah.
He behaves odd, right? I mean, did he even have a shirt on? Who knows? But he's just
did.
quiet. He stares.
He did, because
He's just kind of.
Because his introduction, so they show up and she's like playing music. She's trying to be young, hip, Alanis Morissette set kind of vibe, woo, I'm a hippie, right? And all of a sudden she's like, don't let the cat out. And the cat gets out. Then Oliver in the center of the pool is strangling this cat or trying to eat this cat. And
Yeah.
that's where you and I would go, yep, we're going to go for a walk. Yep.
Time to. Yep, that's good enough for me.
No, I knew, right, of course, I was knowing this movie, but I knew Laura was bat nuts crazy.
The other trigger would be that she says you should go to the funeral. It's like, Andy, you're gonna go to the funeral? It's like, not really. I don't. It kind of irks me to go. I don't want to say you need to go. Pushes him, and she's really harping on like, this is your goodbye kind of a thing, and tells Andy that she believes that the soul lingers in a dead body. And I think that has something to say, right? That,
Right.
Yeah, that's why she, spoiler, obviously this is all spoilers, why she keeps a dead body in the freezer.
She's, again, you are continuing my case of that she's bat crazy, man. I mean, like, that's, yeah.
No, I get it. Like, listen, in hindsight, we know that she is crazy. But I'm giving the benefit of the doubt, because when when Andy and Piper first walk into the house, again, kind of a greenhouse, there's like plant life, and, she's trying her best. She's blasting some hip music, Empire of the Sun. They're Australian, so playing a hip Australian band. And trying to be, oh, I didn't hear you come in kind of a thing. I'm just rocking out, mate, kind of a thing.
Good Australian
Yeah,
accent.
you only get, don't. Thank you. Well, okay, that was my only
Good job, mate.
attempt at that. Good night, everyone. Okay, now that's it.
That's
I get it.
I have to do it. That's not a knife. Come on, finish the line.
That's a spoon.
Ah, I seen you play knifey spoony before. I would call them chagswoggers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I behave. I'm sober. So,
We don't accept that. We don't accept that kind of behavior here in America, sir.
I can't. Okay, we got to go. So, because
That's
we
enough Simpsons.
we
for
could do the
one
whole
episode here.
Yeah, we're doing the whole thing. Yeah, so Oliver's crazy. We don't know why, but this is the fun part of the movie, right? There's definitely some sort of an occult, some sort of a possession, but you don't know how the possession is going to go. Now, I will be totally brutally honest with you. This is what is going to probably show my hand in my popcorn rating. From the time of the funeral ends, right? Because Laura's like forcing Andy. She's just like, "Hey, bud, kiss your dad goodbye." And he's like, "No." And she's like, force him to do these things. And then she steals a lock of the dad's hair, right?
Yeah.
From that point until Oliver goes complete demon, I'm kind of checked out.
Really? Okay.
I'm checked out. I'm bored because I know where this movie's going. I have seen this. I have been here before numerous times. So it's just like,
yeah, I feel you.
and I don't feel that them as directors did anything new to the genre from Funeral until Oliver starts going nuts. You know what I mean? Like
get
where
you.
his body starts changing and things,
Yeah, they're building up a bit. After the funeral, we get to the part again. Those little quirky things that you would get in a horror movie, right? That Oliver is mute and Laura like locks him in his room and has like strict kind of rules for him. She really watches over him a bit more closely than the other two. A lot of these kind of weird things that she puts on special care, but it's like anyway. So Andy is home alone with Oliver the next day, right?
Right.
And this is where we get the knife scene because he
Great.
tries to cut up some fruit for him. First off, Oliver's locked in his room, so Andy lets him out because I think doesn't he like bang on the glass or something like that. Either way, he's outside. It doesn't matter. They're at the kitchen. Andy drops something, picks it up, and when he gets up, Oliver's chewing on the knife. And
go
it's,
right through, man.
again,
Ugh.
Yeah, like, oh boy, yeah, the way he does it too, it's just like, holy cow.
Gives himself a
Andy's
hair lip.
freaking out.
Yeah.
Now, the other part of it obviously freaks out, and so tries to run outside to go get some help, get in the car or something like that, right? Or just outside. And this is where we get to see the perimeter. We get to see the white mark that's going around the house.
Right.
And Oliver is even just getting straight messed up after chewing on a knife. Is just like, no, I don't want to go out there. And Andy's like, no, we got to get you to a hospital. As soon as he crosses that white line, he starts just having a seizure almost, right? Just shaking,
Right.
going down on the ground and just freaking out. And Andy's just like, I don't know what's going on here. At that moment, Laura and Piper come home. Laura's freaking out. We get to see a different side of Laura.
We do, which again proves my point that she's crazy. At this point where you see the bird's eye view and you see the perimeter, the circle, I mean, you knew what that meant because I did, right? You're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah. Obviously, you get to see all this, and it lets me think that, oh, all right, Oliver is the special case. He's already been possessed or kind of something. He's already been tainted or something like that with the spirit, and those are his walls, right? That's you can't go over that. Obviously, it'll break the spell.
Why make
Laura
it so
goes
big?
inside, puts in the videotape, and tries to get the YouTube instructions to repair everything, right?
Right, because it's like, why make it so big? Just make sure he doesn't leave, like, the backyard. You know what I mean? Because this is a huge thing. I mean, like, it's not like he's a free-range demon. You know, like why make it that again? That I actually have a problem with that because I'm just like, why? Because you're getting so close to being caught at that point. What if Oliver's walking the perimeter, somebody's out for a stroll? They're going to see a kid that's messed up and go, "Hey, what's going on?"
So
Right.
the other part of this, I think, is when we get kind of like a get out moment, right? Because doesn't she kind of repair him? Laura tries to fix Oliver in her bedroom.
Right.
And she does so by, doing her little whatever she does.
little circle thing.
Circle. And yeah, exactly. And did it seem like for a moment that like Oliver came back? Not her daughter?
Yeah, so like Oliver kind of she wasn't trying to bring her daughter back through Oliver. Oliver needed to be possessed by the demon, right?
I thought that basically Oliver was not Oliver the entire time. That he was just like the shuttle. He was the shell.
Right.
And that either that demon or Kathy, the deceased daughter, was already in there and kind of like a butchered ritual. And Laura was going to attempt to redo the ritual to try to get into Piper instead. So get rid of Oliver because she kind of, that spirit is just kind of hanging on in his vehicle of a body, and then we'll eventually move over to a better host in Piper.
So then with that's what you thought or that's what you think right now is?
That's what I think at the end of the movie. Well, that's what I kind of got maybe at the halfway point of the movie, where it's just like, man, all right, this Oliver guy is just damaged a bit more. But it becomes more and more apparent to me because of the special interest that Laura takes in Piper.
Right, because
that she kind of talks about her daughter to her and
this was the plan all along, right? For her to, because Piper doesn't, she's blind, right? So she doesn't see what's going on, but Andy does.
Right.
And Andy's been telling her, we gotta go. She doesn't listen to her brother, which I don't know why she doesn't. But this is the moment where, Laura's going to befriend her and Piper trusts her now, right? Because we don't know what happened to the mom. Where's the mom? And it seems like Piper needed a mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So this is where we get the videotape, though, too. And we get to understand the ritual. Now, I told you that I didn't quite understand. So I'm going to read it to you here. See if you get it. We find that Laura's daughter's name was Kathy. Blah, blah, corpse is stored in a freezer, dresses Piper in Kathy's clothes. It's revealed that Oliver is possessed by a demon called Tari? Tari? T-A-R-I.
Okay.
T-A-R.
Yep.
Which Laura summoned through an amateur occult resurrection ritual learned from a Russian VHS tape. That's your first mistake.
It's always Russians.
Yeah. It used to be Ukraine, but you can't make those jokes. The corpse of the person to be resurrected is fed to a possessed host, Oliver, who then regurgitates the corpse and its lingering soul into the newly dead body of a person killed in the same manner as the one to be resurrected. I'm still confused on that. Do you get it now? So
who then regurgitates the corpse in its lingering soul into a newly dead body. Yeah.
You get it now? So. Okay, so the corpse of the person. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so Oliver is the one that is possessed currently.
Right.
Which explains his behavior, which explains again why maybe in that moment when Laura helped him back and resummoned him or whatever brought him back.
Right.
And maybe that circle around the house is again Tari's house, his perimeter. Anytime you go past that, then that breaks the summoning or whatever it is, right?
Yep.
But yeah, basically she's in possession of a demon. So when it's time to complete the ritual to bring her back, then Kathy, who is on ice, will be fed to Oliver, right? And we see that later on because Oliver has the big old belly.
Which was ridiculous.
And while that's happening, while he's got a belly full of Kathy, Laura is going to kill Piper in the same way that Kathy died, by drowning.
Yes.
because we know that Kathy drowned.
Right.
And Piper will have to be drowned the same way, which Laura will do. And when she does that, and Piper is dead, then Oliver will then throw up the corpse that he ate of Kathy, and the spirit will possess Piper. And the reason why is because Laura believes, and she said before during their father's funeral, that once a body is dead, the spirit lingers in the body. And so because of this, Oliver, being the demon, is going to eat that body and the spirit and then regurgitate it, kind of separating the two so that the spirit will go into a new host, Piper.
Which is the good spirit, meaning that once the demon that's in Oliver does its job, I'm assuming the demon goes away, then Oliver dies if the ritual was a successful ritual.
You could do whatever you want. I guess we really don't know that far in advance, but I would imagine that it probably dies or just kind of goes away at the same part. But we also know that later on that this is kind of a good part of the movie where it starts to pique my interest. Andy, when was it in the hospital or
He fell. He hit his head or something. No. He was in the shower, and then when he was in the shower, Oliver came in. It was like the glass shower door, but then Oliver's demon form took the form of his dad, Andy's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
And I believe this is where and then Andy gets out of the shower, and he slips and falls and hit his head.
Yeah, so he's in the hospital, right?
Right.
But there's a part where I forgot where I think it was in the hospital or maybe it was somewhere in the child services when he's trying to get either way. I think I thought it was the hospital or somewhere else. He sees the missing child post, and it's Oliver.
Yeah, it's Oliver who has long hair.
Who has long hair? Yeah, before he got shaved.
Right, and then he goes to the head foster care lady, and he's just like freaking out, like, dude.
Andy's at the foster agency, yeah, and he sees the poster.
Right, and he's just like, dude, Laura's crazy, and the foster lady, what's her name? Is she listed on
Wendy.
here? Wendy.
Yes.
Wendy's like, I don't believe you, blah, blah. You know, I've known Laura for 30 years. We're like best buds, bud. You know, and he's just like, no, come with me. She's nuts. Something's happening. Oliver's there.
Which, I like because I think there's a part as a viewer where you start shouting out kind of the rational actions, right? And just be like, you got to believe me. And just like, all right, well, off with you kind of a thing. And just like, oh, that's it? No. Like, listen, come with me. I'll show you. And if it looks clear, sure, I'm insane. But otherwise, if there's evidence there, you got like that's what it is.
Somebody's going to jail.
You, yeah, exactly. You send me to jail or send her to jail. Yeah, good point.
But here's the thing, too, is that did she, and I don't know if it was clear in the movie. Never mind. I actually answered my own question. She did not foster Oliver. She kidnapped Oliver. Because if she fostered Oliver, then Wendy would have already known.
Yes.
So she kidnapped
the thing
him.
is that I think it's presumed that Wendy knows about Oliver, but that Oliver is some sort of different, right? Like Oliver is a kid named Connor.
Connor Bird.
Yeah, Connor Bird. And yeah, I think that Wendy was led to believe that Oliver was like the brother, cousin, some sort of family.
No, wait a minute. Here we go. I'm not looking it up. I'm just thinking. He was a foster kid.
A foster named Oliver. So I don't know how that was. Well, you know what? It's probably because she worked, right?
Well, she worked there.
Agency?
Yeah, she worked at the agency. She probably, has said, "Hey, that guy has a twist. Let's take him home." And
yeah, so she probably kidnapped the kid and then just kind of made it seem like, hey, I'm gonna foster this Oliver kid.
Yeah, but without telling anybody. And I'm really, really proud of you that you ignored my Oliver Twist joke. Thank you.
Wow, bud.
I'm sober.
I mean, first off, the way your Oliver Twist joke, the way you think that was a joke is rather than it just being a nod. Because otherwise you could have said something a bit more with an accent. That would have been funny.
I just sometimes when I go back and listen to the episodes, I just love hearing me say something ridiculous, and I can just feel your hatred on the microphone.
Sometimes I'm oblivious to it, but you know what? I like your jokes, especially your Oliver Twist jokes, Jordan. And please, sir, may I have some more?
You tune yourself out. I love it. Yeah. So clearly, Oliver is a foster kid, and Laura kidnapped him from the foster care. Obviously, that's what it is. Perfect.
I like how you ignored my Oliver Twist joke.
You see, bud, I tend to ignore it. Anyway, is this also where
you artfully dodged it?
No. Yes, I did. Now, did we skip
Thumbs up back there.
HR? HR said no.
I got HR's approval on that one. Thanks.
Nice. Did we skip the part where Oliver puts the knife in his mouth and he writes the word bird, or is this after that?
No. We already talked. That happened pretty. That happened after the funeral.
That was after the funeral because he was coloring or drawing or something, but he was able to write the word bird, which we had no idea what that meant. And we find that's his last name. So now we come to the climax of it, right? Where it's like Wendy, the foster care leader, whatever, is just like, okay, I don't believe you. We're going. And of course, you know what I'm going to say. I'm thinking as they're driving, Wendy and Andy, I'm like, oh, Wendy's a part of it, right? Because that's what these movies do. You know, like yeah. I mean, it makes sense for this kind of movie, right? Oliver's a foster kid. He goes missing. Wendy's the head of the foster care. She just moves some papers to the left. You know, I get it. Wendy's a part of it.
Until you see Laura really freaking out and start to really clean the house,
which is right. And then Oliver and her gets into a scuffle, and he like zombie bites the crap out of her arm too.
Yeah, he takes a big old chunk out. Yeah.
Is this? Wait a minute. We're skipping a lot of stuff because before this, because before Wendy shows up, isn't this when he goes crazy and he like starts eating everything and he starts biting down on the wood table and his teeth start breaking off? But this is before Wendy.
You're right because he's getting close to the deadline. Yeah, you're right. He's hungry. He's trying to eat, and Laura's really just trying to buy time to get, obviously, everything prepped and such. And it was, I didn't realize that until later on that he is really just eating anything. And man, what a great detail! You know, knowing these parts of the story after, I think, add to the movie,
right? Rather
than watching it in real time and being like, what is going on again?
Well, we got to talk about the scene, right? Because you were talking about the beginning of it, just the grossness of it. Oliver starts to eat himself, eats his arm, and then he's a piece of loose skin, and he bites and rips the skin from his wrist up to the below his elbow there. I'm just like, oh, I did have to look away, right? I'm just like, oh, because it was so good. And then after he rips that piece of skin off his arm, the camera pans to him and he's just like eating it like a fruit roll up.
Yeah,
you know, God, and I'm just
man, what a scene.
Good God.
Yeah, the scene where again he's eating the countertop, it bothered me like in the same way of American History X.
Bite the curb.
The curb stomping scene. And again, just the way that he was just kind of moving, and it was a great scene, like great detail. They really just kept the camera on it while it was happening, just like holy cow, man.
So why?
Is it cake? Yeah.
Is it what? one of the thoughts that I had during this self-mutilation scene with Oliver is that I don't know where this movie's going at this point now. Right now, I'm interested. But it's like, I was thinking, if Oliver, the person, survives this possession, right? Is it going to be one of those possession movies where the demon's out of him and now his wounds heal? Or is he going to be messed up? Because knife in the mouth, ripping skin off, teeth messed up. Like, what's going to happen is what I was really curious about.
Yeah, I do appreciate a movie where it's like, are they going to survive at the end? And listen, the majority of the people do not. It was rough.
Big shocker, right? So Wendy and Andy show up. Laura's cleaning up, right? She's freaking out.
Oh, man.
What?
Yeah, go. I mean, I hope this was as much as a surprise for you as it was for me when Wendy finds out.
Yeah. So again, I'm thinking Wendy's a part of it, and then we found a few scenes earlier, that Oliver bit Laura. So Laura's freaking out. She's just like, hey, everything's fine. I'm kooky, and then she does something silly with scratching her nose or something, or like puts her hand through her hair, and then there's some blood on her. And then Wendy reacts like anybody would. It's like, oh, you cut yourself there, bud? You got a little blood there. And she's just like, she touches her face and then flips out. And she's like, we've been friends for 30 years. I got to bring her back. Wendy. And Wendy's like, oh, my God, you're crazy.
Does Andy take him out to the back too and get to see the body in the freezer as well too, I think?
That's right, because Wendy's like saying you're crazy, and then Laura's like,
they see Oliver eating the corpse.
Yeah, so because Laura's upstairs freaking out while Wendy walks away. Andy finds her, takes her out to the greenhouse, and just sees her dead daughter's corpse, and Oliver's smashing on her face, man. And they're just like, oh, God. Right?
Yeah, so she's freaking out, and she obviously is like, all right, Andy, we got to go. Let's go.
We got to go. And what makes movies like this fun with these directors is that the next scene just comes out of complete nowhere, right? So the camera's in front of them. Andy and Wendy are running towards the car in front of the camera, and out of nowhere, you hear something, and boom, freaking Wendy gets accordion folded by Laura driving the car and gets smashed with the other car, dead instantly. And then and we don't see really what happens to Andy. Like, he kind of moved out of the way, right?
He got clipped pretty good.
He got clipped, but he would have survived. Wendy, though.
Well, he technically did survive. He got hit pretty good. Like, Wendy got the brunt of it. She got a mouthful of a car, basically. Whew. Where Andy was, like, he got it to where he was obviously on the ground, like, incapacitated. And, man, what a horrible way to go. Man.
Oh, so terrible, right? Kind of reminds you of scenes in the day of, like, Private Ryan with the knife scene, right?
Yeah, I was going to, exactly where I was going to go with that, too, where you just kind of feel bad. It's helpless. It's such a helpless scene.
Yeah, like, no. Anyway, he's laying half of his face is in this mud puddle, right? And then she just slowly grabs his head and just puts it down a little bit. And, of course, me being me, I'm complaining because he drowns in 30 seconds. I'm like, that would take a little bit longer and more of a struggle. But, it's a movie.
He was probably, clinging to life as it is. But still, like, holy cow, we get to see, like, the lengths that Laura will go to try to bring her back.
At the point before she kills, pretty much before she becomes a murderer, she's savable. Because Laura, as the movie continues to go on after this, Laura's not bad. And that's what I like about the character, is that she's not bad. She's sad, right?
Sure. You talking about, like, as far as the character goes?
Yes, as the character.
Because, like, she's already kidnapped Connor.
Yeah, well, she's kidnapped Connor, but you can come back from that, right? I mean...
kidnapping a child?
You can go to jail for 10 to 15 years. You can come back from that. But
possessing that same child that you kidnapped?
That's bad. But
she's a demon?
Look, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because she was not a murderer at this point.
I think that's the other part of the horror of this movie. And that's the one that comes after you've seen this movie and you really put some thought into it.
Right.
Especially because at the scene at the end, when it does come crashing down, right?
Right.
Because Piper is able to escape, and obviously the police are called. Laura is beside herself and is just there willingly giving herself up to be arrested, just knowing that she's done horrible things, and in doing these horrible things, she will still never get her daughter back.
Right.
And it is a gut-wrenching part because as much as you want to feel for this person who is going to the extreme right to try to bring her daughter back, who didn't have anything before and lost that daughter that she had, that one purpose that she had, and is doing all this just to get that back. You see
what I'm saying?
It's hard to feel bad for this. Yeah. You can't feel bad for this person because 3 people just died because of her.
Right. Three people have died. Well, 2.
Oliver, Andy. Wendy.
Nope. Movie guys rule number 1, bud.
2.5.
I mean,
That kid is possessed and presumably dead.
no, not at the end. We'll get into that. We'll get into that, right? Because
Oh my God.
she's a murderer. And then what kind of took me out of the movie, there were 2 scenes that took me out of the movie that made me laugh out loud, where I shouldn't be laughing. The first scene is forgettable, where Laura's is going crazy, and she sprays Andy's cologne on her, and she sucker punches Piper in bed.
Right. Oh yeah.
Right?
Trying to
Yeah.
build the separation between Piper and Andy.
And I laughed out loud. I was just, because it was kind of comedic. She was just like, poof, ran away. And I was like, really? That's kind of stupid.
Or the parts where Laura is peeing in a pitcher and then pours it on Andy while he sleeps to make it seem like he's wetting the bed.
That's a good one. Yeah. There's just weird things like that, but I didn't chuckle on that. I chuckled on the punching, and I chuckled where she's in the pool with Piper. Piper's kind of unconscious. The camera pans up, and here comes Oliver from the greenhouse, this small little boy body with his big beer gut, right? And and I laughed at that point. And this is where Oliver is completely transformed, right? His eyes are blood, his teeth are all messed up. He is full demon at this point, right?
Yeah.
And he
you're
just
that right.
Oliver goes into the pool, and this is where Laura needs to drown Piper, like we established. And when Piper drowns, then Oliver will come and do his thing. But Piper saves herself because while she was being drowned, she was able to get up and say the word mom or mother or something. And that is what Laura needed to just hear those words again, right?
Yeah.
Now, question
Man,
about...
yeah. Right. And you know what? And you are right. Nobody, no death. Because I think... Doesn't Oliver just walk out behind the circle?
He does. Okay, so the very end of the movie is...
we see him collapse.
Yeah, we see him collapse outside the circle, and he starts doing his like shaky, seizure thing. And then the cops are out in the woods looking, and a cop finds him, and she goes, "He's alive!" And he's just like, "Oh,"
Okay.
like, dude ain't gonna live a normal life, but he's alive.
No. Yeah, you're right.
But also, too, question, because I paused and rewound. Do we 100% know how Kathy died, her daughter? Because we get a flashback scene of Kathy's body floating in the water, but there was blood coming out of her head. And then Laura jumps into the pool.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know if it was like a slip and fall.
Okay.
Kind of a thing, kind of like what happened to Andy and Piper's dad, right?
Yeah, but
if it was something else. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, I was just curious because I didn't fully understand why she fed Oliver the lock of Andy and Piper's dad's hair. I didn't get that.
I thought
either.
that was just to
Mark Piper.
like redo maybe that's something. I thought it was just more so just to kind of like as part of the ritual.
Oh,
maybe.
Right, and then
feed him another soul to kind of get Tari's body or possession back into play.
Or maybe that was just to feed him for a while, like a big plant in a shop.
A part of a soul.
Yeah, just like here's something to hold you over until I get the guts to do it. But you're right. You were talking about the last shot, which is a great shot, kind of like Nosferatu was at the beginning of the year, right? She's
Yeah.
in the pool with her daughter. Camera pans up. The cops are coming in, and Big Spoon, Little Spoon with her daughter, her frozen corpse of a daughter, with half her face ate.
Yep. Yeah. Write that up in the report, boys.
Whew. So, okay, popcorn rating for Bring Her Back. I'm struggling.
I listen. I'm with you on that as well too, but I think this movie was a little overhyped. I think a lot of people, and the same with like Sinners, where people were just like, "It's amazing, it's the best of the year, it's this, it's that, you got to see it." I've had two friends text me after they saw it saying that, "Oh, you got to see this movie, you got to see it, it's this and that," and again, I don't know if that was a bar set for me going into this movie, where I'm going in expecting this amazing kind of a film. So first watch, it's just kind of like, all right, well, that movie had like a few scenes that really are going to make me kind of think. But in the larger part of it, I'm just like, I really wasn't too impressed. But as we talk about it, and the more detail is after the thought of watching the movie, you're like, oh man, it is a layered movie. It does have a lot of depth into it. There's a lot of more going on that's just on the surface. I would just say a medium. Like, it's a solid movie. I really do think that. I think it has a lot of good talking points, a lot of good scenes. They did a really good job, again, with the visual effects. And I just enjoyed that. I don't know if there's much I would do different in this movie, because I think everything kind of gives you closure at the end. All the characters ended up where, they should have been because of natural cause and effect. So,
Not Andy.
Yeah.
It sucks about Andy. Andy was the only sane one.
man, who do you feel bad more for? Like, I feel bad for Piper as well too. Like,
Yeah.
she held her father, right, as he was dying on the bathroom floor, and then to discover Andy, right, because she can't see, so she's in that room and she can feel. Oh, she feels his braces, right?
Yes.
Laura takes both the bodies and hides them in one of the rooms of the house, and Piper's going through as Laura's trying to prep, right, for the last stage of the of whatever the ritual is. And Piper feels the body, and she feels the teeth and feels the braces. Oh God, that's heartbreaking.
It is.
So, yeah, I like those parts. Those are
Right.
the psychological part of the horror.
So I don't disagree with you. This movie for me is a medium bag as well. I didn't want to give it a large, but you and I both gave Sinners a large. So this Sinners is a better movie.
Did we give it? I think we gave it a large for different reasons.
Yes, we did. We did. But it's still, so that's what I was struggling with. It's just like, is this film of the year worthy? Because if we both give it a large, it's a medium bag. I don't think, though, that I'm going to go back and YouTube scenes. Like, I saw it once, and I'm good. Kind of like Long Legs, in a way, where it's like, okay, like, I'm not going to go back and rewatch.
Sure. And
You
I
know.
will definitely say to everybody that I did enjoy this movie, and the more that I think about it, the more I end up enjoying it.
Which
But
is
I
fun.
think that there's a cap to that. I have a limit to where it's just like, it's not going to put me over into large bag territory.
No.
There are, again, those scenes that are going to stand out in my head forever. So,
Oh yeah, definitely going to think about the scenes, and I will spoil it. I think Sally Hawkins, who played Laura, I mean, I already put her in for Actress of the Year nominee. I thought she was great. Like
Yeah,
she
she's
was
fantastic.
she was really great. But what I was struggling with was last night I was going to bed and I was looking up the movie and doing research for the show, and it's like 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm just like, really? And then I'm reading the critic reviews, and usually they have like some good critics and they have some really bad ones that are like, the movie's horrible. Everybody loves this movie for some reason. So I'm like, oh no, is this going to be a second look movie for Eric and I? Are we not getting it? But it seems like we do get it. We're giving it a medium. It's just not a strong film overall. But my question to you is, before we go, is this a good follow-up to Talk to Me? Because this is their second outing. So
yeah, I think we're getting a theme with these two where it's characters who are dealing with a loss.
Okay.
And the lengths that they are going through to either cope or to, I guess, I don't know, resurrect or kind of get what they want back. So I like these themes. These are real themes.
Real
right?
themes, yeah.
And Talk to Me where, you have the loss of like your, what was it, a father, right? And her dad died in that one or something like that?
Probably.
Or I don't know, a family member. And again, you find an escape in something else, and whether it be drugs or in this case talking to the dead to try to hope to talk to them again. And in this movie you have the loss of a child, and you are told that, oh well, you can get your child back if you just go through these different steps. She's like, all right, well, I think I can do that. I have the resources here. So I like what they're doing. I do. I like the run times of these movies. I like that they don't insult the viewer by really hammering in the narrative of what's going on, like over explaining a bit more. I think I would have liked to have seen in this movie a bit more of the cult stuff, but maybe more of Laura watching the how-to videos, or maybe more of a of a description of what the demon is, Tari. Listen, did I miss any of that? Tell me.
No, I just disagree with you on that. I don't think we need to see much because, like I said at the beginning of the episode, what I like about Laura is that she's a screw-up. I mean, like, we do not know how she got this Russian VHS tape, and the way that the movies.
I don't want to know how she got that.
That's
You're
what
right.
I'm. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just like she found this Russian VHS tape of a cult. She doesn't even know if it's real or not. It could be a snuff film. It could be fake. How does she know it's real? And for her to have the faith to even mimic what this is and completely screw things up, it's great for the genre.
So maybe like a scene where, and again, maybe this happened and I'm just completely forgetting about this because a lot happens in this movie.
Yeah.
But like where Andy or Piper gets up in the middle of the night and because they hear Laura, whispering or something like that, and they find that Laura's watching the movie, trying to just, making sure she's going through the steps, right? Going through her checklist. Okay, we got this. Okay, this. Or maybe Andy finds like a calendar where the dates of the scheduled steps are for the next part of the ritual. Those little details I think would have been easier for me to know, like those other parts of what's going on rather than having to go onto a Wikipedia page and getting those details. But if they were said and I missed it, then that's on me.
Hey, that's on me too because I didn't hear it or see it either. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can check us out on Movie Guys Podcast at podbean.com or, of course, wherever you get your podcast from. We're here every Thursday, Friday Eve, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there it is. Good for you.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Working that in as much as you can. Yep.
Yep, just having fun on Friday Eve. I hope everybody is too, and medium bag across the board. It was fun, but something I'm not going to go back to all the time. Eric, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll be back next Thursday for another awesome episode. Have a good night.
Best chicken sandwich ever.
I get stared at.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me.
Oh, yeah. Listen, own it. Go in there and own it. Be clueless. Be like, hands on the hip, kind of like, well, gee golly, what is it you got here, huh?
Well, I did own it.
Do you have any
Years
spinach?
ago. I had such a terrible joke. I did own it. I did own it years and years ago, but they stopped letting me own it, and now it's a Popeyes.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Lincoln, your grass is getting a little long there. Yeah, I had a guy for that, dick.